Hi, this is Ty Adronis with TestPilotRC.com, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be practicing for our first hover. To do this, we're going to go into low rates and we're going to start off with a Harrier maneuver. And what a Harrier is it's a high alpha maneuver where your nose is pointed up and providing a good deal of your thrust while you go very, very slow around the airfield. Just think of it as hover light. So what we're going to do is we're just going to pull back on our elevator, going slow, and we're going to be using our rudder to steer, not our ailerons. And the reason why we're not using our ailerons to steer is that it's a lot like balancing a ball. You're about to see the results of going too far, there you go, with your ailerons. You balance on a ball on a board, really. And if you tilt your wings too much one way or the other, you're going to end up sliding right off of your air envelope and probably end up with a knife edge with your nose pointed straight into the ground. So here we are just hovering around. We're about to go into high rates so that you can really practice feathering it instead of just relying on the full extent of your elevator in low rates to hold that nose up. So this is a really nice Harrier going around the airfield, and let's go up into high rates here and we'll practice feathering our elevator so that we don't have to rely on that stopping point. Okay, so high rates now with our nose pointed up. And what you're going to see is you're going to see a lot of throttle management with high rates on. And what you're going to do is you're going to be puffing that throttle a little bit on and off to force more air over your control surfaces so you can really keep it stable. And it's all about throttle management and rudder management when you're doing these high alpha and hovering maneuvers. Just remember, the puffs of throttle really aren't going to affect your altitude all that much or your airspeed because an object at rest wants to stay at rest. So little puffs of air over your control surfaces just give you more maneuverability. So we're going to go ahead and go into our first hover here, and you're going to want to try this one fairly high up, and you're going to want to be at least 3 mistakes high, because what'll most likely end up happening is you won't manage your rudder enough and you'll end up knife edging over and maybe even ending up in a dive. So we're still harrying around here at this point and it's still looking pretty good. Okay, but we're gonna get ready and set up for our first hover. So we're gonna go out and we're gonna gain some altitude, go out to the end of the airfield and turn around and come on back in fairly quick. And we're just gonna, at this point, just pull back to get our nose pointed up, which will give us even a little bit more altitude. So here we go into our first hover. And this is probably what your first hover is going to look like. It's actually going to look like a really low speed Harrier. And you're going to end up rolling off to the side. That's okay. That means you tried it, you got it up. Just keep trying it and you're going to end up holding it longer and longer. Where you're going to end up is like this. We're going to be low to the ground now. And to get into our hover, we're going to pull back, but at the same time, puff the throttle to throw that tail down, just like that. And then we get it going up, and you can see constant adjustments on both sticks. You can also see the right stick is off on the right a good portion of the time. And the reason why is the torque from the motor makes the plane want to roll left. So really, it's all about going from center to right on your ailerons. If you stay in the center, you're going to end up rolling to the left. So we just did a nice blender coming out. This has been Ty Adronis for TestPilotRC.com, and this is how to set up for your first hover. Practice those Harriers going around the airfield, practice nice and high, and remember, puffs of throttle and rudder control are going to be your keys to success with a prop hang.